Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our final art class of the year, not our final art class period of the year. And I want to, before we get started, I want to show off one of our art friends, Marcy. Look at this beautiful snowman. Tell us a little bit about him. We want to show him off.
I love him.
Oh, he's just a little shy little dude.
He's a little shy.
I know.
Thank you so much. And we love it when you guys make art during other times too. And if you ever want to show it, we are more than happy to profile it. I want to make a very, very quick announcement. AnCan only fundraises one time a year. It's this particular month. If we have helped you in any way, and if you are able to, which we know several of the art friends have already donated, but if you're in any way able to, no amount is too small. We would greatly appreciate it so we can keep programs like this going for people all around the world. Hannah, as I said before we hit record, there is some arguments going on. There's a gauntlet because who is the cutest furry fuzzy buddy? And that's what you're going to explain to us tonight. What are these buddies? How do we make them? And especially, how do we make them our own?
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Excellent questions, Alexa. Okay. I can't tell you who's the cutest one. Okay. I have my own biases. All right. I was saying earlier, this little guy is based off of a cute little Japanese bear called Rilakuma. I was like, oh my God, he needs to like make an appearance in something. It's not exactly him, but based off of him. This little kitty right here is based off of my own kitty cat, Cora. Okay, she's got those like very judgmental eyes. I had to put it into a Christmas painting. Okay, and then this little guy based off of my own derpy little doggy, Coco. He's just a little chihuahua. He's always smiling. So I wanted to give you guys some options for this painting. And you're right, Alexa. There is a certain way that I'm going to guide you at first to just sort of begin our little creature. And then from there, I'll show you how you can modify it yourself for your own little creature. So as you can tell, ears are going to be different. See that, round versus pointy versus whatever that is, sort of, I guess, kind of triangle. The background is all going to be the same, but the customization comes with the scarf and with your little guy. So think about colors that you want to use. Think about what your fur color is going to be, your scarf. Think about whether or not you want little sparkly like sparkly little stars in the background. See that? Kind of little sparkle there. If you even have any pearlescence. What else is there? Eye color, that can be one thing if you've got big eyes that you're gonna do. Otherwise, if you want to do just beady little black eyes, that's okay too. Make it easy on yourself. I think that's about it though. I think we can get started. I'm going to use a bigger piece of paper like this. However, my recommendation would be to use a smaller one. And I say that because I do want to maximize the amount of time that you guys have to customize everything. Because of course you're going to want to take your time on that, on the drawing. So I do recommend you guys work small. However, because I want you guys to have a big view of everything, I'm going to be working larger. This is actually half of my regular 9 by 12 inch mixed media paper. Okay. So half of that. Actually, I don't think this is, anyway. So go ahead and take that time now to cut it, if you will. And if you want to, if you guys request it, I can show you guys how to cut the paper in half. I do it without scissors, so I can show you that if you want to. Yeah, so I also have some optional painter's tape. Okay, and this is for if you want that really nice crispy border right there. I'm going to be doing this too. I'm going to be taping my picture to the table here. What else? We want paint brushes. So a variety works really well. If you choose to do something larger, so you know, like this size, perhaps 9 by 12 or even bigger, if you're ambitious, okay, then I would choose a 3 by 4, or I'm sorry, not 3 by 4, 3/4 inch flat brush for your background. For anything else, anything smaller than this, a 1/2 inch is totally fine. And in fact, if I were doing this one, I would use the 1/2 inch. We also have pointy brushes too, so round brushes. I always refer to, or I always defer to a size 8. That's just sort of my happy brush. But honestly, any size that fits you is totally fine, even if it's smaller. And in fact, later on, I will be bringing out a smaller brush. This is a size, I don't even know, maybe like a 2. Looks like maybe a 2 or a 4, something smaller, okay, just for those little details. Okay, even smaller than this is totally fine too. I think that's it as far as brushes. Of course, you're welcome to bring in anything else that you want to experiment, or just sort of if it's more comfortable for you to use something else, you can bring that in too. As far as colors are concerned, we're going to be using a lot of white paint. So I've got this right here. I also want to do a teal of some sort. So in the background here, I know that this is darker, but I am going to lighten this up. Okay, so this is more like a turquoise, but I'm going to lighten it up so that it looks more like that. Only because I'm all out of this color, so I have to make do with what I've got. I also have a blue. So, you know, this is like a nice little aqua or bimini blue is what it's called. Whatever's around that range is totally fine. I also have purple somewhere on the side over here. Got my purple ready for the background, little patches. And then scarf color. Again, that can be any color you want. I don't really know what I'm going to use just yet. I'll decide that later. Eye color. If you happen to be doing larger eyes, then of course you're going to want to get your eye color. What else is there? I think that's about it. Fur color, of course. Yeah, I think that's about it. The fur color, metallics too. So this one has a little bit of silver in it, if you can see that. And of course, this one's a little bit of metallic bronze. Whatever you want to do is totally fine, okay? I think that's about it. Do you guys have any questions before I begin?
We're gonna do the background first, right?
Yes. Actually, we're going to draw it first. So, Marcy, I'm really happy you asked me that, because we also need a pencil and an eraser. What am I doing? Not telling you about a really important thing. Pencil and eraser. I actually really like to use the larger erasers, but whatever you've got is fine. Water and napkins, also very important. And then also something to hold your paint. So I happen to have a little palette, but even if you don't have anything, you can use a paper plate. You can use like a lid, like a container lid, and just wipe it off later. And okay, now is that it? I think I got it all. I think we can get started. Again, one more time, any questions? All right, let's do this. I'm going to set all these aside, and I'll bring them out whenever I'm ready to demonstrate. Now, as far as taping it down, I like to just sort of measure out by eye pretty much. So blue painter's tape works really nice. I can take my fingers and start to measure out my little space. This painter's tape is really nice because I can see the edges through it. It's sort of transparent. They're not all like that though. So just kind of eyeball it as best as you can. I like to start from the top and then make my way around like that. Just in case you didn't know how to, like a good method of taping your stuff down. So I'm just going to do that. Is anybody doing anything that isn't a bear or a cat or a dog? I thought about doing a ferret. But then I was like, no, that's too many options. A rat would be super cute. I used to like own little rats as pets. Okay, almost done, guys. I am going to be picking up my pencil next. Done. Let's begin. So for my little guy, I'm going to start off with sort of a dome shape. And I want to show, I think you can see it a little bit better on the kitty cat here. It's a dome shape, okay? And I honestly, when I was first drawing it, I thought it looked a little bit like a thumb instead. It looks a little funny. I want you guys to draw kind of small, unless you're super confident, you're extra confident. That's totally fine. But I want you guys to work within your comfort zone, okay? So I'm going to draw kind of small here. So it's a dome that shoots up like that. There we go. And it'll probably get a little bit taller, a little bit bigger. Can you guys see that okay? I want you guys to press down lightly because it just makes your life a whole lot easier when it comes to erasing. I'm going to press down hard though, because I want you guys to see this, okay? So I'm going to press down hard, but you guys press as lightly as you're able to. See what I mean though? It looks like a thumb to me. Anyway. Now I'll probably end up modifying the length of this because of the head and the space that the scarf takes up. No matter what you're doing, I also want you guys to draw a circle for the head. Now, even though this little bear right here, it's looking straight forward, okay? And that's why we can see both of his fluffy little cheeks right here. Little kitty cat here, and even our bear, or I'm sorry, even our dog right here, they're facing a certain direction. Now that's not super important unless you really want it to face a certain direction. I want you, it doesn't really matter, no matter what little fuzzy guy you're doing, it doesn't really matter what you're doing or which direction it's facing. But I will show you how to draw both of them. But we're all going to start to draw the same shape of a head. Same shape for everything. Now I'm going to pretend that this part right here is its body. My scarf is supposed to be in the middle, so its head is a little bit more on top. And in fact, I'm going to like make it a little bit bigger. So I'll start here with a round head. Down here, there we go. Down here is where our scarf is going to be. And in fact, let me actually erase these lines so you can see it. Take your time drawing the face. Okay. Erase your lines as needed. This line that you see right here, this is actually the scarf line, or the top of the scarf line. So all I'm going to do is take this and extend it a little bit, just a little bit, and then have it go down. Have it wrap underneath like this. Same thing with this side. Erase it. Now, I always do this. This is just me. Maybe it's you too. But I always end up making the shoulders just a little bit bigger. Just kind of happens. Doesn't have to stay the same thumb shape. You can sort of make them actual shoulders by making this line in the opposite direction. So I've made it that way. Now I wanted to run through that part. I know it was a lot to pack into like 30 seconds, but I want to show you guys the real customization now. Don't worry so much about this part right here. I mean, if you drew it already, that's absolutely okay. But personally, I feel like it's a little bit easier to just paint it in there with white paint later. But that's just me. You're more than welcome to paint it in. I'm sorry, to draw it in. I say that now because it can take a lot of time to paint around these little edges and sort of like try to squeeze your brush into these little tiny places. So I'd rather just deal with it later with the paint. Now, if you're doing a bear, you have a very easy job right now. You have the shape of the head now. We've drawn that out. It's a round shape, and honestly, even if you have a cat, that's okay too. You've got the position of the head. If you have a bear, all you have to do is draw these little half moons on the top of the head. So take your time with that. You can make them a little bit bigger, just sort of like erase them if you feel like they need to be a little bit bigger, or vice versa. Now, for those of you guys who want the 3/4 view, I'm going to use this little kitty cat as an example. However, they're both done the same way, okay? The only difference, if I can move that, the only difference is that I've made this head a little bit more pointy instead of rounded like this guy. So this one's just a little bit pointy. So I'll start out with this head right here. I'll start out with the cat. It's a little bit more, it's not complicated, but here it is. I'm going to move this to the side a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to follow this cheek line to the side, or up here like this. So you see how it curves here? Well, this cheek line is just going to keep going. Keep going like that. That's how you make it a little bit more pointed. This one right here, the other side, you see how it's not as not as bad, not as bulbous. What I'm going to do here is erase this part, and I'm going to flatten it. So just erase that part, just the right side. Flatten it. And then again, make it very angled. Although I'm probably going to fix the ear a little bit. So lots of angles here. And looking at mine, I definitely need to fix his shoulder so that the shoulder matches. So that's what I'm going to do. You may need to do that too. So I'm just following this line visually and recreating it on the other side of the scarf. There. Much better. Now we can jump back up to here. And I feel like even this part's a little too bulbous. You can just erase that. And what I want to do with this little kitty cat, it's not as much of a straight line right here. So all I'm going to do, I know I just erased that, but actually I kind of want to put that back in. Sorry, guys. Putting that roundness back in at the top. Don't mean to confuse you. I'm going to start the ear, and I'm going to match it to here. Match it to this back line that we just drew. But then we can also just kind of make the ear a little bit bigger. See that? I just made the ear a little bit bigger that way. And then you can erase it whenever you're happy. And then for the other ear, just kind of make a line on the right side that moves down. And you have your kitty cat. Now play with the proportions. You're more than welcome to keep erasing that. You're more than welcome to create the eyes too. So big almond shapes. The bigger the better. So if you think you're exaggerating a little bit too much, then it's probably perfect. You want a lot of exaggeration there. Don't worry so much about drawing the nose or the mouth. This goes for anything, okay? Anything, any of these creatures that we're doing. Don't worry about the nose or the mouth, because that's just a small detail, and I'll teach you how to put that in later. But the eyes, go ahead and draw the eyes, and I'll probably fix those. Now, for doggy, if you don't mind me, I'm just going to very quickly draw another little mock-up so I can show you. Okay. So if you're waiting for demonstrations on how to do our little doggy, here it is. With this one, little doggy is also facing this direction. And just like with our kitty cat, all we have to do is just sort of erase this line right here, that right side. We don't have to bother with the left side, at least not right now. I'm erasing the right side of the face. And I'll just flatten it up just a little bit, just like I did with the cat, flatten it up. But this guy's not so angular, not as angular at all. Fix that up. And in fact, some of you guys might be okay with even emphasizing the round face even more. You're more than welcome to do that too. Just sort of make it even more round and fluffy. But you don't have to. The ears are really what makes this little guy a dog. So I feel like for me, drawing the other ear is actually a little bit more easy. So it's sort of a triangle that you can't see the other side of. See that? I have it going up here, going down on the long side, and then we just don't see this other point. On the other side, we absolutely can do a triangle. So it's sticking out from the head there. It's a triangle that I just didn't finish the edge on. I'm sorry, I didn't finish the point. Left it open. Now that may change. I very well could paint it in brown, just like I did over here. And if you can see this one, it's not exactly a triangle like I'm drawing right here. And that's because when I was painting, it just, I don't know, I was just in the painting moment and it just happened. And it still makes sense. So if you just happen to flatten it out, then I wouldn't worry about it so much. It's not a huge deal. The tricky-ish part comes when you're trying to do a little pattern on your dog's face or even your cat's face too. I just resorted to a simple circle. So if you're trying to look at the markings on your own pet and replicate them, see if you can boil it down to very simple shapes, circles and ovals, things like that. I really wouldn't go past that too much unless you wanted to do like a whole blob. Keep it simple on yourself because I've done this before where I get so caught up in the exact texture and shape of animals' fur patterns that I lose sight of everything else. So just make it simple for yourself and just draw a very simple shape in an approximate area where you think the pattern might go. Maybe even up there, have another little blob that jumps up there. Looks like a very abstract doggy right now. For you guys, you're more than welcome to draw almond shaped eyes if that's what you want. However, I chose to do just little circles because that's my Coco. He just has little circle eyes. And if you're just going to do circles, wait for later. You don't have to draw them in. Same thing with the nose, same thing with the mouth. We can paint those in later. So it's just much easier to pay attention to smaller details much later. So keep that, free of anything. That was a lot. Is there anything that you guys want me to repeat? I know I haven't gone over the bear yet, but is there anybody who wants me to clarify something on the dog or the cat? You guys are amazing. Oh my God. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Little bear, you guys had the easiest job. Okay. All it is just the little half circles up at the top, maybe even little half circles right around here. leave the face alone unless you want to make like a little muzzle. So it's just an oval right in the middle there. But other than that, you're done. You're done with that. You guys are troopers. This is amazing. Now I am gonna fix my little kitty's eyes for a minute here. I think that's a little bit better. Yeah, feel free to play around with the placement no matter what animal you're using. I always try to keep the eyes on the same horizontal plane. So here's what I mean by that. If you were to take like a line or a ruler or something, it's on the same horizontal plane. Just a little detail I like to think about. And for me, because I have such a light color, yellow, contrasted with such a dark color, black, I don't really need to draw in the pupils right now. I'll worry about that later. Any sort of dark color will overpower a lighter color. Now feel free to, or I would start erasing your lines. So for me, I'll erase these right here. My little kitty cat. Gonna fix this up a little bit. You're welcome to, I know I don't have it in this one. This is just totally black ears. But as an option, if you wanted to draw like little triangles within your triangle ears, you're more than welcome to do that. Kind of like that. My kitty cat also doesn't have any whiskers, so do that later, you know, very end, at the very end. I'll give you guys another,
This is the
say 5
peanut
more
gallery.
minutes.
Because nobody's saying it. If nobody's saying anything, it's because some people might be feeling like I'm feeling confused. That you keep switching out the picture, and so it's hard to, you know, wait, am I going crooked? Am I going this? Am I doing the bear? Am I doing the dog? Which one should I do?
Here.
So, like, it would be helpful if you at least leave the picture of the options.
Yeah, if that is helpful, let me move stuff around. Do you want the full options, like the full painted options, or the ones that I'm drawing now?
I don't know what everybody else, you know, if I'm the only, I don't think I'm the only person having so confused.
No, you're right. Let's see. I'll put
Well, like
Mr. Bear here.
you can easily put just the bear. We don't need to see everything, the bear, the dog, you know, so we can look at it and have an idea where to go. Like the
Yeah,
dog.
is that all right?
Like first I was gonna do the bear, then I was like, all right, I'll do the dog. Well, now what do I do?
Yeah,
So
because I'm talking really fast.
Can you put the color of the dog, the colored painting of the dog? So at least I know, you know, I don't have even next to the bear, just on top. I mean, just the, you know, I don't have
Well, there's no
visual
space here,
recall.
so
Huh?
I want to make some space here real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like no space on my area here. There you go. Is that okay? Hopefully it
I
doesn't
guess.
fall.
Well, let's
Okay.
see your dog. Put your dog near where you have the tape. You have space over where the dog. So we could just see what you did. It just makes me crazy when you're like, well, you can do this, and then you can do that, and then we're gonna do this.
Which
So
one
like,
did you
can I
want?
see that dog? Like, just put the dog next to the bear up there, so I could see it. Just over there, right there. Yeah. But
Right or left, Karen?
just there, you can see it
But
all.
there? Okay. It's
So
on the right.
wherever you want to change, at least we can see it.
There we go. Here, remove that. Okay. It's okay. I know it was a lot. Keep going, guys. Keep erasing, modifying, do what you need to do. I guarantee you the shape will slightly change whenever we paint it. So you don't have to be quite precise. You don't have to make sure that your lines are perfectly straight, because that paint is going to cover up some of that. It's just going to happen normally, naturally. So keep that in mind. You don't have to make everything totally perfect.
No.
No, don't do that. Yes. Anybody else have other questions? You need me to repeat anything?
Sorry to be grumpy. I started late.
It's okay. It's a lot, and I know it confuses
Well,
me when there's
I
a lot
came
to
late.
do.
I came late, and for 10 minutes, no, 15 minutes, my computer's still not open, so I'm on a tablet.
Okay. Yeah, slowing you down.
I'm struggling a little bit with, now I'm doing a dog and I'm trying to make it face sort of to the side like you have your dog, but I'm trying to do eyes that are a little bit more like your cat eyes, like the almond or teardrop sort of on its side kind of shape. And I'm obviously you're not here with me. I guess I'm having trouble trying to make the two eyes look
Laura,
different,
can you
but
hold
not...
it up to the camera? I'm going to spotlight you so Hannah can see it and help.
Okay, well, I have it taped down, so I'm having trouble.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All you gotta do is
Just do this. Oh, there we go. I see it.
I feel like they just ended up looking like two really weird eyes that aren't
I
the
think
same,
that the perspective of the one on this side, for me, it's the left. I suspect it's also the left for you.
Okay, yeah.
This one's good. I like this one. I feel like the other one, you just need to erase the bottom part and make it wider. Like, because yours is a little bit more like that, but make it a little bit more round.
Okay.
See how, like, erase the bottom, and I can come back to this point and make it rounder. So you can use the other one, the one on the left side, as sort of a reference for you as far as like how wide or how round the opposite side is right here. It's very wide. So this one has to be also very wide too.
Got it. Yeah, I'm just having, I don't know. Drawing is not my strong suit.
It's okay. It's all right.
I often have difficulty getting what I can see in my mind's eye to be on my paper. To get my hand to do what I want to.
I think we all do. We all have that trouble too. So I totally get it. But I saw the rest of the shape that you use, and it was great. So you did a great job. Oh, good.
Does that look better?
Can you raise it up a little bit? There we go. There we go. Yes, that looks good.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, you did good. You did good.
It's hard for me looking at it too.
Okay.
Obviously, you're critical of your own work, or at least I am. And yeah, I feel like it just looks like one nice looking eye and then one deranged eye.
Well, that one adjustment, it went a long way. Like, it looks really good. And like I was saying, like with the rest of the shape and the rest of the face and everything else, that looked really good too. So you're very much on the right track.
Come on, I like what I did with the ears and getting them to look similar to what you did, but kind of like different thing as well, trying to make it look like my dog.
A little floppy, yeah.
Yeah, she's got bigger floppy ears.
What kind of dog is she?
She's a hound, beagle-y, hound, shepherdy something mix.
Okay. Oh, does she have like the longer ears? It kind of seems like she does.
So they're sort of beagle shaped ears, like between a beagle and a lab. So they kind of flop over, but yet they sit kind of up.
Okay, that's cute. I can imagine it.
Now we want to see her.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I'll see if I can get her on camera at some point. She is fast asleep in a dark corner.
Maybe
See if
we
she was
can bring
no
her
need
on
to,
at the
yeah.
end because I do
yeah,
love
at the
our new
end.
tradition of ending with animals.
Yes, I do
I
too.
want to make that a permanent thing. So
Yes,
Does
we
anyone else want a
did that.
little
Thank you.
help? I'm more than happy to take a look at your pictures and help to guide you.
Well, I have a question why
Uh-huh.
the dog's right eye is kind of almond shaped on one side and round, small and round on
This
the other.
guy,
Yeah, why is that?
this one.
Yeah.
Unsteady hand when I was making a circle around it. It wasn't
So is
meant
it
to be
okay
like
if I have
that.
round? Is it because,
Oh
my
yeah.
tablet's giving me a real round shape. I'm like, now you're giving me a round shape.
No,
Now you're
go for it. Go
oh,
for
okay.
it. Because it was supposed to be round and it's looking like an almond. So
Okay, so then the small, it's just
yeah.
to indicate that it's a
Hmm.
side view. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm glad I asked.
And actually, with this one, I actually did mean to make them the same size. But again, the what is it, the outlining with the black didn't quite do it. Like it made it a little odd shaped and then a little
Wait, you meant both eyes to look
covered
alike
it.
or the two little brown dots to match?
Yeah, they're supposed to be the same size. Yeah.
In the same direction? Oh, now I'm really
Hmm.
confused.
Yeah, they're just round.
Let's see
Yeah, they're
what
just
you drew.
round.
So let's see what you drew this time.
Hmm.
The two eyes for the dog. Okay. I only see one eye.
Hannah,
Hmm.
do you leave the stuff on? You don't erase anything?
Where are you? What was that? What was your question?
do you leave the lines on? Do you erase anything?
Oh, I only erased the initial, was it whenever we were initially putting in the face shape. Yeah, so I did do a lot of erasing. Like it over here, you can see I erased the line that would have crossed over into the ear. So sort of fixing it up that way.
Maybe if you put it like landscape, you can see that. Right.
Yeah. I feel like I don't want this part up here either. Erase that line. And again, you don't have to make everything perfect. And as you can see, this part right here, like I'm still pretty messy with my lines, but I know that the paint is going to cover up these pencil lines. So I'm just going to leave them because it would be more stressful just to erase them. So I'm just going to leave these messy looking lines and fix them up later with the paint. Be able to fix them with the paint. Okay. So I think we will, maybe in about 2 or 3 minutes, we'll do the background. And I feel like even if you're working on the drawing itself, the background is something that you can just slap the paint on and continue on with your day. It's not the swirlies that you see. We're not going to work on the swirlies until a little bit later, but I'm more talking about the teal and the blue and the purple, the colors. Anyone else want to show me their work? Okay, keep on going, guys.
I'd also just like to say failing means you're trying. And the great thing about when you're doing classes like this, you're learning different techniques and what to do. And when you get feedback from Hannah, I know this for myself. I'm like, Hannah, I need help. I learned something new. So it's great. Celebrate these things. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
thrilled.
yeah. Can't wait to see your little guys. Especially if you're doing anything other than one of these three creatures. Now, while you guys are working on the drawing, I'll start to just sort of talk about the background. We'll use a lot of white, okay, because we want really light colors with the background. Think it's a very like cold, windy day, very cold, windy day. And whenever we do put the white, these little swirlies in the background, it's basically just to represent the wind. We're basically just going to be painting in the wind. And so I'll be able to break that down as well. The brush strokes that you see back here, they're very loose, very painterly. And again, the use of that white is really going to help you quite a lot with this part. So just, have fun with that background. I am going to be using my flat brush for it. Now, for you, depending on the size of your paper, the size of your canvas, you might want to use either the larger one or the smaller one. So either the 3/4 inch for a larger size or the 1/2 inch for the smaller size. Like I'll probably use 1/2 inch for my dog, 3/4 inch for my little kitty cat there. If you need to use one of your round brushes to squeeze your paint into like some of these little areas down here, then you're welcome to do that as well. Keep in mind that you probably will go over some of your lines of your animal, and that's absolutely okay. And in fact, I would much rather you have more color, like overlapping these lines and covering these lines, than less color. Like I'd much rather you cover up some of these lines, just because it makes painting your little guy a lot easier. So just keep that in mind. It's definitely okay to go over, and it will happen anyway. It's just natural. What else do I have? Just a second. Yeah, I think that's about it. So maybe in about a minute and start on that. Well, for me, I'm going to start pouring out my paints. So I've got the teal and the blue and white, and then a little bit later, we'll throw in some purple. Now for me especially, I definitely want a lot of white because I have a teal that's a little bit too dark for what we're using. So I definitely need to not water mine down. I definitely need to lighten mine up. So I will definitely be doing that. Really got to pour that out. Okay. Make sure you got your water. I'm mostly talking to myself. Okay. Even if you're still working on your animal, that's okay.
Hannah,
Mhm.
I don't really have a teal. All my acrylics are kind of primary colors. So I've mixed
Okay.
my green with a little bit of white to make it a little bit lighter. I've mixed to make it, a little brighter. I've mixed my blue with some white, same thing. I did a little drop of blue and a little drop of red with white to give me a purple, but I'm not really
Yeah.
coming up with a teal. What should I be adding in to something to make it more teal-like?
Good question. You could try mixing just a tiny, tiny little bit of green into your blue, and then also mix white in with that. I feel like it would change it a little bit, but it's a really tricky line to walk because once you add too much green, it's gonna look pretty green. So
Yeah.
it's kind of tricky. Teal, teal tends to be made from a different chemical, like a different pigment type. So it's really hard to recreate it using just the primary colors. So I would say that little tiny bit of green mixed in with the blue is probably your best bet.
Okay.
And just see if it works out. And if it doesn't work out and you don't like what you're coming up with, then there's nothing wrong with just having the light blue and the light purple. So it'll make sense that way too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? That was a very good one. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let me see. And try to leave my doggy on the side here so that y'all can still see something. Now, again, since I'm using a slightly larger paper, I'm going to use the 3/4 inch. But you guys use the 1/2 inch if you guys are doing a much smaller piece of paper. Again, we're going to use a lot of white. And I have a lot of, what is it? Not watering it down, lightening up to do. So I'm just going to take a big old scoop of white here. Just put it in the center there. A lot of paint, especially white paint, is a good thing. Now, we can start off with the teal, or you can start off with the blue, especially if you don't have the teal. That's totally fine. I'm going to take a little corner of it, just a little tap here. I don't need much because it's a strong color, and mix it in with some of that white that I've got there. It's not as strong as I thought it was, so actually for me, I got to pick up a little bit more. Not expecting to have to pick up that much. But every paint color is going to be different. We're just looking for a light color. If it looks pale, if it looks like a baby blue or a baby teal or a baby purple, you've got it. Does not have to be exactly the way you see it here. Now, whatever color you started with first, for me it was teal, go ahead and we can put that on to the canvas. And I'm going to be holding my brush straight up and down and making these back and forth movements. See how they look? It kind of looks like I'm crisscrossing my brush strokes. I'm just going to be working in patches like this. I'm going to be going back and forth between my teal to my blue to my purple, and then around again, teal, blue, purple. A lot of these brush strokes are going to overlap, and that's exactly what we want. We don't want them to remain patches. We want them to integrate. But we can at least start by doing it in patches. So I'm not even going to rinse my brush. And honestly, I encourage you guys to also not rinse your brushes. I have this big old blob of white right here. So I did teal, so I can go ahead and do the blue now. And just take a teensy little bit of blue. Mix that up. I don't have very much teal on my brush, so it's okay. It's not really mixing. Just got that blue in there, and honestly, it's taking me a little more than I thought. There we go. No, it's a little too dark. That's okay. As long as it looks pale, we're good. Take my blue. I'm going to start right on the side here, but then also, I'm also going to overlap it. It's really nice when you can separate some of your brush strokes too. See how I'm just sort of intentionally putting some brush strokes out here, putting some out here. Let your brush strokes just be brush strokes. Let them live as brush strokes. Now I've done teal, I've done blue. I can move on to purple now. Same thing, take a big old scoop of white or two. And then a tinier scoop of purple. Looking for a pale purple of some sort. And honestly, if they all don't look pale, that's totally fine too. We're just having fun with the colors. What I'm going to be doing is going back and forth between all of these colors and jumping around my picture. So I put a little purple there. I can jump over here and perhaps put a little purple over here. I can really get pretty close to my little kitty right here. Start to put some of those brush strokes right next to it. jump around. I'm continuously flipping my brush over and over and over again. And that's how I can really get some of those nicer brush strokes. Flipping it over and over and over again. So now I've done purple, I can jump back into teal, do the same thing, jumping around, letting my brush strokes just be brush strokes. Jumping around like that. Now I can go into my baby blue. Maybe I'll put some baby blue on this side. Maybe also up here. Maybe also scatter these brush strokes just to break up the space here. It's nice to break up that space. Make it a little bit more, make it have a little bit more motion. So I can squeeze it back here. I can definitely use the thin, or I'm sorry, not the thin, the flat side of my brush to go along those edges. That's one technique you can employ. Use the flat side to go along those flatter edges. There we go. And again, right back into purple. So I can add more of that. And if you don't mix these precisely the same way every time, then that's okay. And honestly, it looks really pretty that way. You can squeeze this into this area. A lot of times you can still get pretty nice coverage using only one brush. I'm just using my flat brush. Get all that paint in there. As you're doing this, I do want you guys to take a look around your entire picture just to see if you have any white spaces. So your paper is showing through, or your canvas is showing through. I want to make sure that we get all of that area covered. And if your colors happen to start blending and meshing together, that's good. We want some of that. Need to make a little more blue. Put that up here. I think I'm getting it all. Let's take a good look at everything. I kind of feel like I need a little blue. Maybe down here. Just really let those brush strokes shine. A lot of these brush strokes will also be pushed back because we're going to be putting in, not right now, but we'll be able to put in a lot of those swirls. And so the swirls are really going to be the center of attention when it comes to this background. So all of this is just going to sink to the back. So it's totally okay if there's a certain set of brush strokes that maybe you just don't like so much. It's all right. Just cover them up with something. We'll have what is it? We'll have the snowflakes or stars, whatever you want to call them, and we'll have a bunch of swirlies too. So just disguise it. There we go. I think I got everything. It can be a little tricky to see if you got all of the white of the paper or canvas, since the colors are so they're so light already. I think I'm done. I think I got it. You know, Alexa, I think I do have a favorite. Did I mention that already? I don't remember if I mentioned it.
You said you did.
Okay, it's the bear.
I felt like
love the bear.
I picked up on that.
Yeah.
And fun fact,
Yeah,
Rick
it's so
joined
cute.
us as well. So I'd be
I
curious to know what
saw
his
that.
favorite is too.
Yeah, Rick, I want to know. You don't have to answer now. I do want to know if you're painting along with us, though. But yes, I love the little bear. Even though my kitty cat, she was also the star of this. Speaking of cats, I'm surprised nobody's in here.
I am too. I would have thought
Weird.
that Callie would have made an appearance by now,
Yeah,
but she's
yeah.
been coming in later and later.
Yeah, yeah. Or like clawing at the door, like towards the end of class. She'll let me know that she's hungry.
Guys, so I'm actually the one who uploads our classes to YouTube, and we do transcriptions. Just it makes things easier. Some people are more reading style learning, reading based, and it was so funny. One of the art friends that we had, it actually picked up Callie's meows. And
Oh my
I
God.
told Hannah, I said, Hannah, go look at this transcript. And I actually picked it up and it wrote it out. Meow.
Meow. Love her. She talks to me all the time.
Can you put a little piece of the bear up there? Because now you said the bear is your favorite, and my dog started to look like an astronaut. So maybe I can put it back to a bear.
I love that your dog looks like an astronaut. I know it's
Well,
not what you're
just-
going
I
for,
don't know.
but
I'm struggling.
I just love that it's an astronaut. Yes, little bear can stay there. Whew. Okay. But just so you guys know, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on the scarf color. So that can be done at any point, honestly. Well, as long as you do that before the fur color. So from here, you can do it. You can even do it right now if you wanted to. The scarf color, and you can just paint it in as is. There's really no special technique to it. I recommend using one of your smaller brushes, perhaps the round brush. Sometimes the round brush tends to be a little bit easier, especially when you're trying to get into these tighter corners. But any color you want to do, I just recommend maybe adding a little bit of white paint to it, because the white is going to cover up some of those areas where the background overlapped a little bit. So just that little bit of white will definitely help. If you wanted to do something that's like very, very red like this, then that's a different story though. Red mixed with white actually creates pink. So if you're going for red, then what you can do with that is go over these areas with some white right now. You don't have to go over the entire thing, just add a little bit wherever it overlaps. And then just let it dry and then color it in. So I'll just put a little here. I don't even have to do too much to make it perfect. Just flatten it out. I do want to smooth over any of the lumps though. There we go. Yeah, so now whenever that dries, it can become red. So again, you can do that at any point. I'll do that whenever this finishes drying, because I think I do want another red scarf. Rick, the Hannah Pooh Bear. I'm glad Pooh is your favorite. Oops. Trying. What color should my kitty cat be? Should it be black? Should I do something different?
My cat is black, so mine is gonna be black because my Binks
Yeah.
is.
Ooh, I am glad we're talking about the color black, because I want to show you a little detail. So with our kitty cat right here, It's actually not pure black. I actually added a little bit of white paint to the fur color, and to our eyes, to our human brains, it translates as black paint. But whenever we go over it with whenever we draw the mouth in or paint the mouth in, we can use pure black for the small details, so for the little mouth. So I just wanted to throw that out there too. If you are wanting to do a black animal of some sort, then add a little bit of white to it and create like I don't know, would you call it like a charcoal black, something like that? So it's not a pure jet black, okay? And it just takes a little bit of white paint. It doesn't take a lot at all. Amazing how our brains work. Yes,
Hannah,
is that you, Maria? Yeah.
yeah, when you're doing the scarf, if you want to make it red and white, do you do red and white stripes, or you do all red and then try to go over it with white and get it pink?
Very good question. Okay, so are you trying to do something a little more like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with this one, I'm coloring it pure red. So I'll color it pure red, and then later on, once it's completely dry, that's when you take a tiny brush and you do tiny stripes. But I'll go over that later though. For
Okay.
now, just color the pure red part.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually that's a really good lead into what we'll do next, because I did mention the fur color. Okay, so start thinking about your fur color. What we're gonna do is color in this, the scarf, and then we're also going to color the base coat for our fur. So our fur's color, basically. If you're doing a white dog, then yes, that's going to be white paint. That's your base fur color. Even if your paper is white, even if your canvas is white, you still want that base of white paint on there. Now, as you can see, the smaller details, though, that's a different story. That comes after the base coat. So for my little black cat here, that's that same charcoal gray that I was telling you about. That's the base coat. For this little bear here, my base coat is the darker brown. So it's this right here. It's the darker brown. The smaller details, such as the this really light brown that you see, that comes later after you do the base color. Same thing with the eyes. I'll do the eyes much later. Now, whenever I do paint over this, I'm not going to worry about the nose, not going to worry about the mouth. In some cases, I'm not even going to worry about the eyes. So the only time you have to worry about the eyes is when it's the almond shape. So you have them really big. But even then, just focus on the base color, okay? Use a combination of brushes, just whatever you're more comfortable with. I tend to be more comfortable with the larger round brush, so the size 8. If you happen to have like a small flat brush, then maybe that could work for you too. Just kind of paint it across like that. Okay, so my scarf is dry, so I can paint this red now, pure red. Let me see. Oh, I have Cardinal Crimson is what it's called. Don't know if that's what I used in the original picture, but we're going with it now. All right. So I'm just going to use my round brush and just paint it in. Again, use whatever makes you comfortable. No special technique to it. Just paint it in. I'm still trying to decide what color I should paint my fur, my base color. I don't really know. Maybe I'll do white. Maybe I'll do No, I'll do black. So I know that's the example. So I know at least Marcy's doing a black cat. So I guess I'll do black. There we go. Here's that in.
And Hannah, I'm sure you can also add little stripes too to your kitty if you have a tabby kitty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, if you guys want me to show you how to do a tabby kitty, I'll do that. The same rule applies though. You still want a base color. So same rule. I'd say if you have like a gray tabby, like one of the very common gray tabby, then paint your kitty cat gray. That's a good start. Paint it gray. If you have a I don't know, like a tortie cat, what would you do? I would say paint your tortie cat dark brown, unless yours is vastly different. You might have to modify that a little bit, but do your base color as dark brown. Same thing with like a tortie or like brindle dog too, dark brown. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and paint the base color for my kitty cat. Don't forget, you also have the shoulders down here too to paint too. Same color, same everything. So let me get I need more black paint. There we go. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is lighten up my black paint with a little bit of white, just a touch of white. And again, this is for the black kitty cat or doggy, you know. And I feel like this color has not changed very much from the jet black. So for me, I'm going to add a little more. Just a little at a time. And again, a little more. It's very surprising. I'll leave it as is now. Now again, I feel the most comfortable whenever I'm painting using the round brush. Use what makes you comfortable. So in the original, I don't have these little pink parts or these little triangles right here. So don't worry about it if you don't have those. Gonna little by little start to paint it in. You don't have to start with the ears. You really don't have to. I'm covering up these triangles just because I want to make it a little bit closer to the original. So I've decided to delete the triangles. Take your time, just kind of going around the eyes and just sort of fixing up the edges, painting it in as you go. You can definitely squish your brush down just so you can get a little bit further, a little faster. I am refilling often. I feel like refilling often, it really helps to give you smoother lines. There we go. Trying my best to go around the eyes there.
Hannah, the kitty right now looks like Batman.
It does, doesn't it? Bat kitty.
Bat cat.
Bat cat. Spider cat. Wrong superhero. Does whatever a spider cat does.
And that same song was just going through my head when you started
Was
saying
it
that.
really?
Spider cat.
Spider cat. I feel like Spider-Man. Spider-Man is really having a moment right now. And that song always gets stuck in my head too. like I need to make my shoulders down here a little bit bigger. They're looking kind of small for how big my cat's head is. There we go. I'm debating whether or not I should paint my two sisters pictures of their pets. My sister Maddie, she has a really derpy dog named Juno, and she's got 2 brain cells. Okay, that's it. And I don't know, her craziness for antics, they make for really good pictures. So I've got some good pictures of her.
One time Juno ran into a glass panel and thought it was Hannah's fault.
Yeah, she looked at me like it was my fault that she ran into the glass panel. It was really weird. I don't know if she was just shocked or what. I wanted to make a little note here for little black kitty, or really anything that has black fur. My cat actually does not have a pink nose, okay? But I decided that instead of trying to make the black really stand out, I just decided to create a pink nose. And again, that's a small detail that comes later, okay? But I thought I would point it out. No matter what color nose you want, I'll show you how to put it in there. I actually had to go over it with just a tiny little bit of white paint first, so she looked like she just had a white nose. And then once that was dry, that's when I put the pink on top of it. So just wanted to point that out to you guys. This is where, now I will show you guys how to do the little scarf ends, like the ends of the scarf. I'll show you guys how to do that in a moment. But after that, this is where we'll really start to branch off a little bit and do our own little bits of details. Like for me, I've got some eyes to fill in. So if you've got almond eyes, then fill it in with the base color of your eyes. So my kitty cat has light yellow eyes. So just fill in the entire thing with light yellow. If your kitty cat, or your animal, I should say, if your animal has blue eyes, color it with blue. What else is there? Brown eyes, color it just with brown. I would maybe lighten it up a little bit with a little yellow. That might help you a lot, lighten it up with yellow. But other than that, this little bear right here, I can show you guys how to make this color if all you have is white and yellow and brown. I'll show you how to make this color. Yeah, you don't want to do that right now. So it's just a very light color. It takes a very small amount of brown. It's honestly, it's mostly yellow and white. Just plain old yellow. So this is for those of you guys who have to make this color. And I've got some white on the side there. I'm going to use one of my tinier brushes to mix, just because it's such a small amount. But I'm going to take a big old scoop of white, put it right next to my 2 other colors here. And then take a big old scoop of yellow, big scoop of white, big scoop of yellow, small amount of brown, and see what that does. We need to lighten it some more. We can do that too. Actually, I feel like we need to darken it up. So this is my 2nd scoop of brown. Getting there, it's a little bit better. I added a 3rd scoop of brown, a bit more than I expected. Adding a little bit more yellow. Just as long as it's some kind of like a light brown or a golden brown. Maybe that's a better way to describe it. Some kind of golden brown. You should be good. Hopefully you guys can see that. So you can use that for anything you've got, but I used it for the middle of my bear's ears and the snout. So I don't think I need that color for anything else. Okay. So you can do your eyes at any point now. Now, if you have little beady eyes, then here's an idea for you. You could, of course, use your tiniest brush, the smallest one, to paint in round eyes. Or if you have just a small space, you can dip the end of one of your brushes. Just dip it straight into your black paint. Actually, I should use jet black. I'm going to use jet black for that. Dip it straight into jet black. And then dot it. And again, this is a detail that happens after you put your base color in. See that? Do your base color first and then do this. Ta-da! Beady little eyes. I love those little eyes. Okay. Another thing you can do now as you just sort of work at your own pace, you can also add little stripes to your scarf. Ooh, oh, I'm sorry. I have to show you guys how to do the ends of that. Never mind. Let's backtrack a little bit. I have to show you how to paint these ends right here. So I'm going to do that. So if you haven't drawn it in, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to take my white paint and I'm going to take one of my round brushes. So you could use your smallest one if you're using like a tiny piece of paper, like the same size as the bear. But if you have something a little bit larger than that, then maybe you can use your size 8 or similar. Got a clean brush now. I'm going to take a good amount of this white paint. And then, do you guys see how it's much thinner at the right where it wraps around the head there? So I'm going to take this and fan it out like that. Taper it out. So it's going to be much thicker at the end there. And if you wanted to make it look a little bit wavier, you can always distort one end, sort of make it a little funky shaped on one end. Like that. Just distort it a little bit. And then for the other end, you just go on the opposite side. But I'm going to start out the same way. So down here, it's going to swoop out from that spot. And then I'm going to taper it out so that it's much thicker at the other end, like very thick. Paint it all in. And again, just let it dry. And then you can actually just paint it whatever color you've got going for the rest of your scarf. There we go. Yeah, I feel like it would have been a lot just to try to paint the background around all of that stuff. But if you did that, then kudos to you. I wouldn't have had the patience. Okay, so I'm going to paint in my little almond eye now. So I'm going to do this color. There we go. I have this light yellow. Paint it all in. I accidentally went outside of the line there. But I can always fix that with my fur color. So that's okay. I'll fix that. There we go. Now, for those of you guys who need to do the nose on top of a black body, this part's for you. So I'm going to turn it back to our little black kitty cat here. Notice her pink nose again. We're going to paint white on there first. So feel free to use your tiniest brush if you feel like you're more comfortable with the tiniest brush. I'm going to grab some white. Just a little bit. I'm not going to grab a lot at all. Just a little bit at the end of the brush. All I'm going to do is locate where it needs to be. So if you need to point that out, you can do so. And then just do a little swipe. And I'm going to let that dry. There we go. It's a little bit bigger than I intended, but that's okay. I'll leave the nose as is. I do, however, want to fix the outside out here, the shape of the eye. Just going to go over it. There we go. Now you can also do the stripes at any time. So the stripes on your scarf. Maybe I'll do purple. Yeah, I'll do purple. Maybe I'll do light purple. So you can just take any one of your small round brushes and swipe, swipe, swipe all the way across. Keep on going. Now I do know that I need to paint in the ends over here, so I'm going to do that too. But it's totally okay to jump around to these different aspects, or these different things. So I'm going to paint that in. And I think I'll show you guys how to do the swirlies in the background. I'll show you guys how to do those in a moment. Now for that background, it's actually a few larger swirlies, and then I have a bunch of much smaller ones following along the path that I already set using the larger ones. So let me show you what I mean. So with this one, for example, my little bear. So I started out with the big swirlies. So this one here, big one up here, big swirly right above. Really just 3, but honestly, do as many as you want, okay? And then after I did those smaller ones, I tried to just sort of emphasize the direction. So I made a little dash there, dash there, dash there. So they're really sort of moving along the same pathway that our initial swirlies created. Same thing with this small swirly here. I did that smaller swirly much later. So for those, use pure white. I do recommend that you use your larger of the round brushes. So I'm going to use the size 8. I'll have to refill with the water. Now, I do say to use the white, and I am going to use the white paint, but if you want, you can just jump into your metallic color. If you want to just use pure metallic color in this part, it's 100% up to you. So I have to pour a little bit more out for myself. I'm going to move Little bear over here. Excuse me, I might adjust this a little bit. Okay. So all this in the background, that's going to be pushed to the background. I have my clean number 8 brush. I'm going to make sure I have a lot of my white paint in my brush. I want to be able to go further, faster. So pick a spot, any spot, and start to make a swirl of some kind. Just a swirl there. And you don't have to do it in one brush stroke. You can break it up a little bit. That makes it easier for you. So I've got one there. Maybe I'll do another one over here. You can make them as swirly as you would like to make them. And then maybe I'll do, I don't know, a nice little swirly over here. So I think a good number to start with is just 3 basic swirlies, or 3 big swirlies. And then after that, any other mark you do is just going to emphasize the path that you already set. So I can maybe just jump up here and I'll just make a line that goes with the curve. And I can jump around, maybe over here, make another line that just goes with that curve. Maybe I can have a line here that goes with that same curve, but it's a little bit different. Let's see, I kind of want to make this one into a swirl. You're bouncing off of the framework that you created first. And it doesn't take a lot either. If you wanted to maybe give yourself a number, I'd say maybe like 10 to 15 swirls would be a good start. Because you don't need a lot, just some swipes here and there, and you should be good. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't normally say to count, but it's a lot. Or it can seem like a lot, I would say. So that's my 13th, 14th, 15th, and I'm good. That's all that takes. And of course, do more than that if that's what you want. I feel like my little nose is dried, so I can paint that in with my pink now. And then after that, I'll actually do the what is it? The black of the eye. What is that called? The pupil. I'll do the pupil. And then I'll also do the mouth after that. I am going to use my tiniest brush. If I can find it. It'd be great if I could find it. Here we go. This works. All right. So I want to use pink. I'm going to make my little nose. So of course, if you don't have pink already made for you, then white and a little bit of red is all you need. Just white and red, and then we're good. I always feel like not adhering strictly to the shape works best for me. Like being a little bit more painterly works a little bit better. There we go. Don't have to be precise with that.
Hannah,
You can-
I am so excited to see everyone's fuzzy fuzzy.
Yes.
you and I both are always so excited, but I see people so hard at work and I'm just, oh, I'm really excited tonight.
I know. I know. I can't wait to see everyone's little pieces. Now, the nice thing about this part of the painting is that you now have the foundation, you have the big pieces that needed to be laid down first before you do any of the details. So the details really, they're just things that I feel like you would notice are missing, like a nose. You know, so a lot of you guys would notice if your little guy doesn't have a nose. So paint that in as a little detail. Um, I'm going to go ahead and do the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and do the mouth. I'll show you how to do the stars up here. And then I think we can open the floor to anyone who needs to get off because it's like a little bit past it's like 36 minutes past the hour. So I know it's late in some places. So I'll just show you guys a few things and then we can open the floor. I'll do the pupils, I'll do the mouth, and I'll show you the stars. So the pupils, I'm going to use Tiny Brush and Jet Black because it's the pupil. So Tiny Brush, and my kitty cat's looking up that way. So because of that, I feel like I have a nice direction. I'm going to make my partial circle, big pupils, so it's a partial circle, and then just fill that in. Again, this is Jet Black. Same thing with the size. Kitty's looking up that way, so my pupils are going to be pointing this way. There we go. Now the mouth. If you have a grumpy little kitty like this one right here, you definitely don't have to make the lines go all the way up like you see with Happy Little Puppy right here. So no matter what, start in the middle and then swirl it up and out. Start in the middle, swirl it up and out. These are supposed to be the same size. But with this little kitty right here, I didn't make it all the way. Okay, it's just, I feel like it's a little bit more expressive that way. So I can take my Jet Black and start here. Always start in the middle. I'll make my kitty happy just to show you guys how to do that. Start in the middle, swirl it out. That's for the right side. Always refill. So I'm gonna get more paint. Start in the middle, swirl it out. Kitty cat is a very happy kitty cat. Lastly, I want to show you guys how to do the stars. So I'll use white paint for the stars, but again, use metallics or any other colors if you want to do that. Use your tiniest brush too. And even though the stars are tiny, I still have a lot of paint on my brush. And again, that's because it helps me to get smoother lines. So with the stars, I'll just do one above the kitty here. You want to start in the middle and then make a cross. So I'm gonna stretch it down, stretch it up, stretch it to the side, like that. And then also do an X in the middle. So I've got, and you can do like smaller lines or longer lines, whatever makes you happy.
It's sort of like addition plus multiplication.
Yeah, it is. Like there's my plus sign here, and there's my multiplication right in the middle. I also have some tiny little dots too, so those are optional. I didn't put those in all of them, and you can just sort of take your tiny brush and do a little tap. Now that's one way to do little dots. But another way would be to just sort of turn your brush around to the other side and dip it in your white paint or your metallic, whatever you're using, and then dot. This method just kind of drives me crazy though, because you have to refill your brush every like 2 dots. So that's why with the dots, sometimes I like to use the brush part, but you do have to be a little bit more careful with it. So there's pros and cons. So yeah, so we have the pupils. I also want to just show you one small detail, and I think this will probably be the last of it. Do you guys see the whites, like the little shine in the eye right here of the kitty cat? They don't all have that. The bear definitely doesn't have that. It's just the kitty cat. So for that, you'll want to take your small brush, and once the pupil is dry, then you go in there and just do a little dash. So a little dash that covers both the iris and the pupil, and on the equivalent side, do it on the other eye. And that's that. I think we can open the floor. Anyone who wants to share.
Oh, it's our favorite time.
That's right. And this is nice because you can do the stars and the dots and all the small details at any points. You guys can keep on working on it.
Yes, if you need some time to finish up, we will let you do that. But if you're ready to share, holler, write in the chat, whatever you'd like.
Can't wait to see all the bears and the kitty cats, the doggies. If only Coco knew he was featured in a painting.
Oh, he does not need to know. That would just go to his head.
It would go to his head. It really would. Cora couldn't care less.
Oh, Laurel, I'm coming.
Oh, there it is. Little puppy dogs. They're so cute. Oh, there they are. The babies. I love it. You did amazingly. They're so expressive.
And just details, but that's the basics.
Super cute.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
Really nice texture on the ears too. You did a great job with that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm impressed with that.
Oh my gosh, I love
Very cool.
it.
Thanks, Laurel. Love it.
And this is mine.
Okay, JP, I'm coming.
JP,
oh, there you are. Oh my gosh.
Hey, it's the reindeer.
Can you tell who it is?
Hey, it's Rudolph, right? I love him. Oh, I love his smile. He's just very happy.
His expression is so cute.
I know, he's very happy.
Oh
You
my
did such a good job
gosh,
with it.
I love it.
Trying to make it darker red, but I don't know how to.
Darker red.
Or brighter.
Oh, brighter. I would wonder if maybe the addition of some pink on the inside to give the illusion of glowing. But that's a little more complicated. So it might be a little bit tougher, but it looks great as is though.
Oh yeah, it looks so good. Thank you. And Laura,
I love your background too.
Laura, I am coming to you next.
Yes. Thank you, JP.
Thank you.
There we go, Laura. Yay. Oh, taped again to the table.
Yeah, I'm trying to take my tape off, and some of my tape is sticking. But I'm excited because I found some glitter.
That's amazing.
Oh my
your
gosh.
puppy turned out so good.
Oh my
I love what
gosh.
you did with the eyes too.
I know the eyes are my favorite
Mhm.
part.
I was trying to make them look like her eyes, and
Yeah,
I'll show you a picture of her here in a minute. She
yeah.
looks like she's wearing eyeliner. Like that's
Oh my
legit what she looks
gosh.
like.
She's born with the perfect eyeliner. I'm
I
jealous.
know.
She did not get that
Uh,
from me.
I love the color choice too, like the teal,
Yeah.
paired with the brown. There's something about it. It looks really good.
Yes.
you.
Oh my gosh.
Very
Love it.
welcome.
Great
Oh, I see the glitter
job.
now. Now I see the
Oh,
glitter.
Oh
now
yeah,
yes,
I
the
There
glitter.
it is.
I just literally like sprinkled a little bit of glitter on the white when the paint was just a little bit wet
Oh.
still.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, that's good.
And here, this is a picture of her.
There she is.
Oh,
She's really cute. Like
she's
those
so
eyes. How
cute.
can you not love her?
Oh,
She's so cute.
that's a very
I'll
good
see if I can
fuzzy
put her
Betty
live
Boop.
on the screen then in a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to share?
Yeah.
I'm looking through the icons right now, so if you want to share, you can just
Yeah.
hold it up and I'll find you.
Yeah. Hold it up or raise your hand.
I
Anything
see
like
tape
that.
coming off. That means we've got to
Yeah,
have
yeah,
some shares.
me too. I'm
Yeah.
tape off.
Oh my gosh,
Leslie, I
Leslie.
see.
Oh my gosh.
There we
Can you move it up a
go.
little bit?
Oh, he's so cute.
That is
You
so
did-
cute. I love it.
I feel like those eyes are so expressive.
They are.
Like your puppy's really looking at me into my soul. I
Yes,
love it.
that puppy is alive.
I know.
And the
And the
background.
background. Yeah, see, Alexa, you and I are on the same page.
I know.
I love the background too, and just the texture that I see in the scarf there. There's something really beautiful about that texture.
It,
Look.
Oh, you're muted, Leslie.
thank you,
Thank you
Leslie.
for
That's
sharing.
so perfect. Oh, these are making me so happy, Hannah.
That's very creative.
I know. Oh, here's Marcy.
See, there we go. Really good detail on the scarf. I'm impressed with that.
It looks hand knit.
Thanks. Can you see the mouth? See how light the
Yeah.
mouth is?
Yep. I see the mouth. I think the eyes turned out really well too.
It's such a happy kitty.
Because the black wasn't dry enough. I had to go into it, and I messed up on the eyes, but I can fix them later. That's what's always good about acrylics, you know?
Okay. Yeah, you can always fix it. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
love it. You did good.
Cute.
Oh, and that's the tail I saw on the side. That's really cute.
Yeah, I wanted to give him my
Oh,
cat.
yeah.
He's black, and he's all black, and he does so much with that tail. You know his personality by what he's doing. If he wants to play, and he's got that tail going, and
Oh, so
you
you definitely have to add the tail.
You can. Oh yeah, I can read
sits
him.
on the back of the chair, and he likes to throw the tail in my face, and then I try to grab it. Then he pulls it away, then he throws it in my face, and then he plays with me with the tail.
Oh,
You know? So I have to keep the tail for Binks. Yeah.
of course. Oh, we love
Super
it.
cute.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marcy.
Marcy.
Love it.
Anybody else like to share? I can see people are still working, so.
Mhm.
And this is a
course.
great time to plug that you can always, and we encourage it, we'd love it, we love nothing more. Please send your artwork to Hannah or I. We love to feature you on our social media and our AnCan art gallery.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. With that being said, I'm looking.
I see. Oh, Mary. I see.
Maria.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, sorry. There we go, your little bear.
Yeah.
I love her. Your bear's face. It's so cute. I feel like I could hug him or her.
I know. I just want to hug the
I
bear.
know.
I wasn't sure if I should fill in the eyes all black, but then I kind of like the little white in there. So
Yeah. I feel like that little bit of white gives it a little bit of a pop, like a little bit of realism.
yeah, it was fun.
Gives
I
some
love the
personality.
bear.
Very cute.
Marianne, I think you're trying to share. so
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Oh, we have
Marianne.
another bear.
No, another little bear with the beady eyes. I love it.
Oh,
I think I'm partial to the beady eyes now. I love your little bear. And your swirls in the background. They're so nicely done.
Well, thank
so
you. That's because of you.
Thank you.
It's all you.
Oh,
Awesome job, Marianne.
great job, Marianne, as always.
Beautiful.
Thank you. And I'm going to say goodnight because it's late.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Good
Good night,
night.
Marianne. And if you have to hop off, anybody else, feel free to hop off.
You all have a good night.
Oh,
Good
Laura has
night.
the doggo. Real quick, we need a puppy break. Oh,
Where is he? Oh, there he is. Look at
hi,
asleep.
This is
baby.
Chickadee.
Hi,
Sound asleep,
Chickadee.
chickadee. Look at that. She's so cute.
She had to go to the vet this morning, so she's a little tuckered out today.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
yeah. She's like, okay,
Chickadee.
I know I'm adorable, but I need my sleep.
She needs her
Right.
rest. That's right.
Oh, so cute.
I know. I love her.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing.
Oh, and
Laura.
Laura, here we have more doggo. And Anna Marie, I'm telling you,
Hey.
hi, baby.
Aw. I
Where's one?
know.
Oh,
One,
One.
two.
Babies.
Aw.
Their fur's so
And here is a
soft.
painted doggy. Oh,
Look at that fur. Anna Marie, that's so good.
such a fluffy doggy.
I
Oh, you're
know.
muted.
Fancy fluffy fur.
I think we might be getting the actual dog. I don't know, but we might.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, look at it.
Aw.
Oh my God.
fluffy baby.
Anna Marie, I don't know if you know, but you're still muted. So fluffy though.
So
Oh my
fluffy.
This is
God.
Goldie.
There we go.
With her
Goldie.
picture.
Oh my
Goldie, so
gosh, look at
expressive.
you.
Good,
Oh.
yeah.
Goldie.
That's a great likeness.
I know.
Just like her.
You a good
Goldie
girl?
doesn't know how famous she is right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is so
I
great,
know.
Hannah. This is so great. Thank you,
I
Anna Marie.
love it.
You're welcome. Thank you,
Little
guys.
Of
babies. Thanks, Anna
course.
Marie. Beautiful. I love these little doggy and kitty breaks. Love it.
Yes. Here, I will have the doggy up until if someone else wants to share. Would anyone else like to share? Again, it's totally optional. Like you do not have to. We just want to make sure that if you do, we want to give you an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Got that right. Baby chickadee.
Yes,
Callie was
Chickadee.
meowing outside the door earlier, but I think she's given up. I feel kind of bad now.
Chickadee's like, I think she's opened up her eyes a little bit, like, oh my
I
gosh,
know.
Mom,
What's
what
this
are you
camera
doing
doing
to
here?
me?
Why is the camera still here?
Yeah, she's totally giving me like teenager attitude,
Like,
side
Oh
eye
my God.
kind of thing.
yeah, like,
Let me sleep.
really?
You just leave me alone.
Can I
Why
not
do
have
the
any
people here?
privacy?
She's
Okay, Chickadee, we'll take you
remarkably
off.
patient.
Yes. Rick, I don't know if you're there. I don't know if you're cooking or if you're there. Rick is normally here, like in the background. Like, yes, he's there. Rick, would you mind?
There we go.
I don't know if we have anyone who else wants to share, but because this is our last AnCan Art Friends, would you please say a couple of words on behalf of AnCan?
My gosh. Well, I am in the kitchen and I am cooking. Hopefully, I just made some like quick risotto and cooking. So let me see if I can at least get, there you go. Well, I have to say, shame on me. I think this is the first time that I've actually attended an art class for more than 5 minutes.
It is.
Yep,
And,
yep.
and,
We noticed.
yes, I know. I don't know. I'm trying to get the light right. I'm moving around here, but I don't know that I can do that. It's amazing, and Miss Hannah is as good as everybody always told me she was. So I am. She's fantastic, and I just love some of the work that's been produced. I'm still waiting for Miss Karen to show us what she's been doing. She's not sharing there. So I don't know what's going on. Don't
Karen,
get me.
Karen came in late, so she's probably still working
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
she's still working on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because some of you people I do know from the groups. I'm so thrilled to see Shref here. It's just it warms my heart, Shref, that you're in this class. And the work is amazing. And so all I can say is between all of you, you're doing great work. And I hope it's making a difference for you. I know it's making a difference for at least one person in this group, but I hope for everybody else it is too. So thank you. That's it. Can I go back? Can I?
Yes, you can go back.
Am I
Thanks,
excused?
Rick.
Am I
Are
excused, Miss Alexa?
excused. All right. I just wanted
Good
to
to see
give
you, Rick.
you a final last call for sharing. If not, I will take it back onto Chickadee and
Oh, I can show you what I have. I thought I was unmuted.
oh, okay, no, here we
Oh,
go.
I'm doing a
yeah.
hybrid from Monday to. I just had a hard time because I went to the dog and then the dog wasn't working. And then I went to the bear. And so for me, it's just fun to like spend time afterwards working on whatever.
Yeah.
Like I have to at least feel good.
Oh,
Your little bear. I love your little bear.
I knew I
I
wasn't gonna
s-
have time to do the background, and I didn't do the Monday. I didn't finish Monday, so I was
All
like, okay, I'll do
right.
a hybrid.
that works out
Good
so
job,
well,
it's so
Karen.
Karen.
I'm surprised at
beautiful.
how it all just comes together. So for anybody who doesn't know, I teach Monday classes too, and this is her Monday, like the background and the clouds is her Monday class painting.
I love it.
And it just meshes so well with this.
So what could I do with the scarf?
Yeah, like what color?
Yeah.
Good question. You could play it safe if you want to, but I know you're Karen.
Like leave
You
it
could
white
go.
and add something.
Well, I was thinking of pick a color from your background, like say maybe your yellow or your blue or your red, and use that as your scarf color, or go something all out but bright. So maybe like a bright pink or like a bright purple, or even green.
You can't
Honestly,
go wrong.
I think even green would look really good too.
Actually, I was thinking
Yeah.
maybe like play it safe. It's like leave it white and maybe just make stripes in the white.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I think it would look really nice as some sort of bright color. And I know that you are really good at like choosing good colors too.
All right.
So I think you'll come up with
Struggle.
something
That's all
good.
I came up with. Like it was the bear, but at least
Yeah.
in all
Well,
this time.
hey, your bear turned out really good though.
So cute. The bear turned out
Uh-huh.
so cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
Are you gonna give your bear a name, Karen?
No, I wasn't going to give my turkey a name, right? You never know.
You never know.
Did you give your bear a name?
Not yet. I still have
No, but
Rilakuma in my head.
okay. You know what? I don't always give them names, but I already have the song. It is the bare necessities, the simple
there
bare necessities.
There we go.
If I have a song, I'm happy.
All right, everyone. I think we'll probably wrap it up unless there's some last calls. So Chickadee, and then of the McGinleys, do we have any doggos to show? you'd like to show your doggo. Okay, we got doggo.
Oh,
All right,
good.
everybody.
Puppies.
Here, I'm just checking to make sure we have anyone.
Thank you,
They're
Hannah.
so-
Thank you, Alexa.
Thank
Yeah,
you guys
thank
so
you.
much. This is how we want to start ending ours on doggies and happy things and animals. Guys, thank you so much for an incredible year of the AnCan Art Friends. Hannah and I are so grateful and thankful for you. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your holiday season. We hope you have a fantastic Hanukkah, Christmas. We love you guys so much. We hope you have a great new year,
Yes.
and we're going to see you again in January. Thank you, thank
Yes.
you, thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Bye.